Some animals have weird names. Do you know what kind of animal this is? His name is Skunk, but he's not actually a skunk, he just kind of looks like one, so that's what my little girl named him. Skunk is a guinea pig. People have been keeping guinea pigs as pets for thousands of years, but nobody knows for sure why we call them guinea pigs. Maybe it's because they make a little squealy sound, kind of like a pig? Nobody knows for sure. There are lots of unusual animals in the world, and I want to show you how discovering unusual animals can help kids enjoy God, the Creator who made, enjoys, and sustains His creation. For more ideas like this one, visit kidsenjoyingjesus.com and download a free copy of our book, Enjoying God, My Creator. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel where you'll find more videos with stuff like mind-blowing giraffe brains that defy evolution, ball pythons that help you learn how to be a creation detective, and teaching tips that you can use with kids in your home or Sunday school. Now, let's start discovering some unusual animals. I've got some crazy sounding animal names to share with you today, but you have to guess which of these unusual animals are real animals God made, enjoys, and sustains, or which ones are just crazy animal names that I made up. The Bible says, "For by him all things were created, in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities, all things were created through him and for him, and he is before all things, and in him all things hold together." God made everything, and he enjoys it and holds it all together, even crazy sounding animals most people have never heard of. I'm going to use the word sustains a lot. Can you do this with me? God made, enjoys, and sustains his creation. Sustain means he holds it all together and keeps it going. Discovering unusual animals is a fun way to enjoy God by looking at all the genius ways he made, enjoys, and keeps his creation going. I'm going to show you some pictures to help you guess some unusual animal names, and then you have to guess if that name is actually a real name. If you think they are real, give a thumbs up. But if you think it's not real, it's just a fake name, give a thumbs down. At the end, I'll tell you which animals were real and you can see how many you got right. Let's try it. Here's the first pictures. What crazy animal name could you make by putting together the words in this picture? This is a panda, and the other picture is an ant. So what's the unusual animal name? The name is, dun-ta-da, panda ant. Is that a funny animal name? Do you think this is a made-up or real animal? If you think it's fake, give me a thumbs down, or give a thumbs up if you think a panda ant is a real animal God made, enjoys, and sustains. I'll tell you the right answer at the end. Here's the next clues. Can you use these hints to guess the unusual animal name? We've got a bat and some fish. So what do you think the weird animal name is this time? It's a red-lipped batfish, of course. Does that sound pretty weird? Did God make a red-lipped batfish, or is this just a silly name that I made up? If you think it's fake, give a thumbs down, or give a thumbs up if you think a red-lipped batfish is a real animal God made, enjoys, and sustains. Did you guess? Maybe you're right. Keep watching to find out, because here's our next clues. What do we have here? It's an umbrella and a bird. What crazy name could you make by putting these words together? The name is, dun-da-da, umbrella bird. Do you think that's a real kind of animal that God enjoys? Give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to show your answer. Are umbrella birds something God made, enjoys, and sustains? We'll see. It's time for our next clue. Can you figure this one out? What are the clues? Can you shout them out with me? It's a leaf and a statue of a dragon. Because our unusual animal name is Leafy Seadragon. What do you think a leafy sea dragon would look like? Do you think it's even real? Use your thumbs to show me if you think it's real or not. Hurry, because here's the next clues. This one's a little bit tougher. What do you see? It's an axe and some gold, but how much gold is it? It's a lot of gold. So our crazy animal name is Axolotl. That's one kind of tricky name. What's an axolotl? Is it something God made, enjoys, and sustains, or just a weird name that I made up? Use your thumbs to guess and then get ready for the next clue. This one's a bit easier. You can see a glass of water, and what's the other picture? It's a frog. So the unusual animal name is a glass frog. Can you make a sound like a frog? Ribbit, ribbit. Are glass frogs a real animal God made? Or did I just make that name up? Hurry up and guess, because our next clue has another frog in it. This one's pretty easy. You can see a frog, and what else do you see? It's a mouth. Can you open your mouth really wide? It's a mouth and a frog because our unusual animal name is a frog mouth. Is that a real animal God made? God made all kinds of animals, and if you think he made this one, give me a thumbs up. But if you think I just made it up, give me a thumbs down. And get ready for our next clue, our very last one. This picture has a dog, but what kind of dog is it? It's a poodle, and the other picture is a moth. So our unusual animal name is a poodle moth. Do you think a poodle moth is real? Use your thumbs to show your answer. Guess what? All of these animals are real animals. God made, enjoys, and sustains them. Are you surprised? Let's discover some more things about these really unusual animals. The first animal was a panda ant, but a panda ant isn't really an ant at all. It's a wasp without wings that lives by itself instead of a colony with lots of other wasps. It likes to lay its eggs near other bugs so that when the young panda ant is born, it can eat that other bug as soon as it's born. Now, if you happen to see a panda ant, don't pick them up because they sting. In fact, for its size, a panda ant has the largest stinger of any bug. So it's pretty painful. Don't touch these things, but they're pretty cool. That's a panda ant. It's a real animal that God made, enjoys, and sustains. The next animal was a red-lipped batfish. Can you see how this animal got its name? Its lips are so bright that they're almost fluorescent. It looks like they're glowing. A batfish doesn't swim very well, so it kind of walks or shuffles along on the bottom of the ocean. And like an anglerfish, the batfish has lights on its head that it uses to attract prey. So it lights its head up and other smaller fish come and see, hey, what's that? And that's how the red-lipped batfish gets its dinner. That's one of the ways that God sustains the red-lipped batfish. The next animal was an umbrella bird. An umbrella bird gets its name because it has a big crest on top of its head made of a bunch of feathers. It's kind of poofy and looks a little bit like an umbrella. It looks kind of like a crow, except for it has sort of an umbrella on its head. And some of them have a wattle, which is a bunch of like feathery-like thing hanging from its chest or its neck that can grow to be up to 14 inches long. It's a pretty impressive, weird-looking bird. I think God enjoys making weird and crazy-looking animals like the umbrella bird. Our next animal was the Leafy Seadragon. Leafy sea dragons live only in Australia, and it looks like seaweed just floating through the water, but it actually swims. It has some tiny little fins that are transparent. They're see-through, so you really can't see them very well. And this is amazing camouflage. This is one of the ways that God sustains the Leafy Seadragon, is that its predators can't see it. It's so well camouflaged. God's a genius. He did a really good job making a Leafy Seadragon. The next animal was the axolotl. Now, an axolotl is also called the Mexican walking fish, but it's actually not a fish. It's a salamander. It's a type of amphibian. Now, most amphibians start out as tadpoles without legs, and then they grow up and they get lungs and develop all their legs, and then they go on to live mostly on land, or they're able to live on land like frogs and toads and salamanders. But the axolotl never goes all the way through metamorphosis. It never develops lungs, and so it lives in the water its whole life, and get this, it can regenerate lost limbs. So if its foot or leg gets cut off or bitten off by a predator, the axolotl can grow it back. That's one of the ways that God made, enjoys, and sustains the axolotl. He made it able to grow back feet. That's pretty cool. The next animal was a glass frog. A glass frog gets its name because you can see through it. You can actually look at this frog, or some kinds of glass frogs, and see their guts right through their skin because they're clear like glass. That's a pretty cool animal. The next animal was a frogmouth. Now, a frogmouth looks like an owl, and it has a big mouth like a frog, and it buzzes like a bee and can hiss like a hissing cockroach, but it's actually a bird. Most frogmouths have yellow eyes that help them find their prey at night. Now, this animal holds really still during the day and kind of looks like tree bark, so it's also really well camouflaged. That's the way that God sustains the frogmouth, as he provided a way for it to be camouflaged. The last animal was the poodle moth. The poodle moth wasn't discovered until 2009, so people haven't really known about these things for very long. A picture of a poodle moth was taken in Venezuela, South America, but we don't really know very much about it. But God does. God knows everything there is to know about poodle moths. In fact, God knows everything there is to know about all these animals because God made, enjoys, and sustains his creation. When you discover things about unusual animals, or you discover something unusual about a common animal like a guinea pig, you can stop and remember there is no one else like God. For instance, I learned that guinea pigs have more bones than people, even though people are way bigger than guinea pigs. Skunk has way more bones than I do. I love learning stuff like this because it reminds me how smart, strong, and creative God is. He imagined all those guinea pig bones and the bright red lips of the red-lipped batfish. He's awesome, and you can learn more about unusual animals to help you learn more about God. Your family can help you use books or websites to find answers to questions like, what does this unusual animal look like? What does it eat? Where does it live? And then you can ask yourself, how does this animal show God's awesomeness? His power? How does it show his imagination or his sense of humor? The Bible says, "There is no one like you among the gods, O Lord, nor are there any works like yours." This means that no one is like God and no one can do the things that God can do. This is something that I find really comforting, and I find it really encouraging. There's nobody else as wise or as powerful as God. Whenever I feel really sick or I have big problems, I can find comfort in knowing my God is amazingly powerful. I've had a sickness for a long time, and doctors haven't been able to help me get better. Sometimes I'm so sick, I have to lay in bed most of the day, and it hurts to walk, and I'm tired most of the time. We don't know if I'll ever get better, and I've had this sickness for a long time. But discovering unusual animals is one way I remind myself that God is big, strong, and wise. He made, enjoys, and sustains panda ants, poodle moths, and guinea pigs. Obviously, he made, enjoys, and sustains me too. When I hurt really bad, sometimes I'll look up new animal facts and think about them, and then I'll pray and tell God how awesome he is. This doesn't take away my pain, but it does comfort me and helps me remember to trust God. Why don't you try it the next time you have a problem? Look up something new about an unusual animal. Think about the awesome God who made umbrella birds and glass frogs, and remember there is no one else like him. Why don't you do that right away after this video is over? Just talk to God about some of the unusual animal facts you've discovered in this video, and then say something like, "Wow, God, there is no one else like you."
You can find lots more fun ideas like this one in our book, Enjoying God, My Creator. You can download this free activity guide to discover how you can use panda ants, pottery, and planets to enjoy our awesome Creator with kids. These are simple ideas that use simple materials to point kids to God. Download your free digital copy today at kidsenjoyingjesus.com. But before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.